So I'd like to welcome Liron from FarmDog. He actually flew in here literally last week from Israel, and it was kind of like serendipity that we connected and he agreed to join us. Let's give him a warm welcome. Thank you, Liron. Why don't you tell us just for a minute a little bit about yourself, what you do, and what excites you, and we'll bring everybody else out as well.
All right, perfect. So thank y'all, first of all, for having me here. Liron, I'm founder and CEO of FarmDog. FarmDog helps growers use less pesticides. Very quickly about myself, born in Israel, grew up in Texas, Texas to New York to Israel, and then just moved out to LA about a week ago. So thank y'all for welcoming me to your lovely city. Thank you, shalom. Basically what excites me is, I think, making a difference. I feel like from my generation, so I'm 35, from about 22 to 30 people in my generation went for a whole lot of different gigs that made a lot of money, which is great. I think we all have gone through that path at some point in our lives. And then I think there's been a switch, at least for me, there was a switch in my mindset, and I think for a lot of people within my kind of age cohort that said, holy shit, there's a lot more stuff that we can do to make the world better around us. At the end of the day, we're tired of optimizing e-marketing spend or whatever it may be. No offense if anybody here does e-marketing, but kind of taking the things that we've learned, the things that we become experts in, and doing that for the greater good. Now, everybody's got their own definition of what greater good is. For me, I want to help rid the world as much as I can of a bunch of chemicals out in the environment. But I think that changes for everybody. And I just think that's what excites me, is working on something that even if the emotional roller coaster sucks that day and I'm either at the bottom or about to head down, I know that I'm working on something that's important to me.
Thank you, Liron. Let's give him a hand of applause. Our next panel speaker will be Nipun. He is hopefully I pronounced that right, he is a PhD expert, and he's a PhD in mechanical engineering. He focuses on helping rate appliances based on their energy outputs and inputs. I'll give him a chance to actually explain it better because I know I'm butchering it. And why don't you just introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, my name is Nipun Goel, working as energy scientist with a startup here in Los Angeles. Been in energy field for almost 12 or maybe 14 years now. I know I don't look my age, but I'm 32. So to answer Alex's question, my work is mostly about looking at anything that consumes energy, whether it's gasoline, or natural gas or electricity, and evaluating it in a way that can help consumers. So whether it's industries or residential consumers, what is it that they can buy if they're in the market to buy something? So that's where my work comes in, and that's where my company is.
Thank you. Do you work with government agencies as well over this?
I have worked with DOE in the past, but that was through my school. We were working on what we called Industrial Assessment Center, and we saved like millions and millions of dollars through just educating people, like preventing them from burning fire like this, for example. That's a waste of energy. There's more efficient ways to do it, but it's okay.
Well, it keeps us warm. Let's give him a hand of applause. Thank you. Okay, so we'll start off with a very kind of non-geared talk about different energy aspects. Well, first of all, let's start at a very global approach of what do you guys see as the biggest thing holding back progression of eco-friendly companies and just movement forward in a very kind of like cutting down oil use and promoting electrical use. Where do you see that's holding back forward movement in industries in eco-technology? Let's start this way.
I think it comes down to selfishness from a government kind of holistic aspect to an individual basis. And from that, I mean, think basically every government in the world today could flip the switch and say, from now on, we're doing X instead of Y. That unfortunately comes at the expense of votes, at the expense of kind of citizens' happiness, because all of us individually would much rather stay warm than turn this off and sit here in the dark. I would as well. Like I'm not there. No judgment at all. I would as well rather do that. So I think from a government aspect, you've got that, and then from an individual aspect as well. We could all cut down on our energy use. We could all cut down on the times that we drive our car. But hell, it's much more convenient to drive your car than to take the bus or the metro or whatever y'all call it here in LA. I don't know. And so I think that's the main thing. At the end of the day, we can all flip a switch, but it comes down to, are we going to do something for the greater good? And again, no judgment on this at all. Or are we going to do something that from a individual aspect is better? I like to use a metaphor. There's a certain type of spider that's actually in Israel where the spider, once the little babies come out, the mom feeds the babies for the first time, and then the little baby spiders eat the mom.
And now we're maybe 100 years later or so, and all of a sudden, cars are the dirtiest thing around, and now we have this amazing next Model T, Tesla, and eco-bikes, and so forth. Liron, what do you think, and solar energy, what do you think is going to be the next, where are we going to see the big waste? Where are we going to say, hey, these cars at some point are all that's disgusting, all the mining, all the labor? What do you think?
So I'm a bit biased. I think it's going to come from the agriculture industry and pesticides. Growers are spending $80 billion a year on pesticides, still seeing 20-40% crop loss, which is $500 billion worth of lost yields, and of course environmental damage. So we're spending a whole lot of money on something that doesn't work as well as it should, and collateral damage along the way. So for me, that's the big waste right there. Where essentially what happens in agriculture is the fist of the field, this beautiful little fire here. We're just spraying the shit out of the field on a fixed schedule and homogeneous. Every Tuesday, we're just spraying it. What we're trying to do is move the industry from that situation to one in which the field gets only the right treatment at the right time at the right location. So think about it like antibiotics. If we were to all just take as many antibiotics as we can every Monday, things wouldn't be that good. We kind of dump that as civilization. That's where we've got a whole bunch of resistance to antibiotics. We move the industry to one in which responds. So I think in 10, 15 years, we're going to look back and say, why were we spraying the hell out of our environment with a whole bunch of chemicals?
Thank you, Liron. So, very last, super quick question, two-word answer. Where do you guys think we're headed? Do you guys think we're going to survive? Are we going to thrive? Or are we going to go extinct?
I think we'll be fine. We learn a lot. We make mistakes, but we stand up again. We learn a lot.
I hope we'll be fine.
I can't have the last word on this, but I'm a pessimist. We'll be fine. I think we just got to start making more right decisions and start rebalancing how we're valuing the decisions that we make across energy, across agriculture, across just about everything.
Thank you. And I want to thank Liron and Nipun for coming in, especially the last minute. They're experts in their field, and we're really grateful for you guys coming out. Hopefully you come out and join us in the next event. Let's everybody give them a warm hand. Thank you.